This week on Kayak Bassin, Chad Hoover heads to one of his favorite trophy bass fisheries, Briery Creek Lake. With the construction of a dam in 1986, the 845-acre Briery Creek Lake was formed and then stocked with both Florida and northern strain largemouth. Soon afterwards, Briery Creek Lake began producing trophy bass and was recognized as one of Virginia's premier bass fisheries.
Bad day bottle and a gun you meet. You bet you can't blame no one now, mister. Drove 3 days and you can't look back, cause you find yourself missing her hair and curls, painting her toes, and a towel in the kitchen.
All right, so here we are, Farmville, Virginia, Briery Creek Lake. As a 10-year Virginia resident, this has become my home trophy lake. Public water, monster bass. I got fish waking out here already. We're unloading the truck. I'm being joined by my good friend from KayakBassFishing.com, Miss Callie Shumway, a 19-year-old young lady who says she can outfish me. So we're gonna go see what we can do. But there are big fish waking everywhere. Let's cut this intro. Let's drag the boats in the water and go get a big girl.
She liked my words when I sing my song. She laughed every time I curse the phone. She knew to leave well enough alone, and I miss her. But I'm pissed right from dusk till dawn. So
Nice.
bitter man on whiskey rules.
Not what we're looking for.
No.
Getting going, I'm drinking.
Welcome to kayak pickerel fishing.
I just sitting away, staring at the gate. It still ain't swinging.
Fish.
Trying to change my ways. It's all in vain.
Nice.
Wishful thinking.
Come here, little dude. Aggressive little fish. All right, so that little guy smashed a Zoom swimming super fluke rigged just on a straight shank worm hook, and it was buzzing it across the top. Just come up and blasted it. These fish are chasing invasive, nest raiders and anything that they can up in the shallow water right now, trying to establish their quarantine around the beds. And this little guy blasted a swimming fluke, buzzed across the top.
Having to add or remove weights from your soft plastic presentation can really slow down your fishing. But Chad has a way to fish a soft plastic at different depths without changing weights. And that's what we're going to look at in this week's Kayak Fishing Tip. Brought to you by Wilderness Systems, makers of the Ride, Tarpon, and Commander series of premium fishing kayaks.
Another tip that I like to use, and you'll hear me say this over and over again, is the fishing upside down trick. When I can't get that bait without putting more weight on it to run a little deeper than I want, I can simply push my rod tip down in the water, give it a quick snatch, and that gets the line under. And now I'm controlling my depth by the depth of the tip of my rod. The other real advantage to that, and you hear this a lot with muskie and pike fishermen, is that when you do get that lure right to the boat, you can do that figure eight, especially if you actually see that bass following it. You're almost about to run out of time. Do that quick little direction change, figure eight it right at the boat, swim it around, and sometimes it's that little direction change that triggers that strike, and you'll pick up a lot of fish right at the boat. This trick also works really well on windy days when the wind in the line puts a big swoop in your line and creates a lack of contact. It makes it hard to feel your lure. So if you're fishing a soft plastic and you want to buzz it in some places and you want to swim it a little deeper in other places and you want to hop and pop it, before you just add extra weight to change the entire action of the bait, try using that little trick to stick your rod tip in the water and fish it upside down.
We'll be right back with more kayak bass fishing action. Welcome back to Wilderness Systems Kayak Bassin Show. This week, Chad Hoover's on Briery Creek Lake with Callie Shumway and Joey Guype. Known for its monster bass, Briery Creek Lake is considered one of Virginia's best bass fishing lakes, and so Chad's got his sights set on a double-digit bass.
fish is gorging itself. Look at that. Look at that little gut.
I'm Callie Shumway, and I'm from Bellefonte, Pennsylvania. I'm a college student studying criminal justice and intelligence analysis. I'm 19 years old, and I fish about 4 or 5 times a week. I guess you could say I'm really addicted to fishing. My mom thinks I buy too much fishing stuff. My dad understands that I buy too much fishing stuff, and then everyone else just kind of just doesn't bother me about it. They're just used to it by now, I guess.
Joey's in the tree again.
It's definitely different being a female angler just because there are so many men in this industry and they don't quite understand women and fishing, I would say. But one thing that I've always wondered, and it really puzzles me, is that a lot of men will say things like they don't want women fishing, or they'll make fun of women for hunting or wearing camo. But because they say statements like that, a lot of women aren't open about the outdoor industry and about fishing and hunting, and they really should be, because it's something that I think everyone can enjoy.
That's the buck right there. I don't think there's enough female anglers out there. I don't think there's enough couples like Callie and Joey that get out there and enjoy the outdoors together. I have a lot of friends that if they want to go fishing or if they want to go do something in the outdoors, it's a battle or a compromise with their significant other, with their loved one, to be able to do that. And I think if more couples would embrace actually getting out here and doing things together, they would stay together. Because I think people that play together stay together. And those guys absolutely play together well. Now I will say one thing, you know, at about 5 foot to 5'2" each, and under 115 pounds for Joey, and definitely under 100 pounds for Callie. You know, there's 2 people in the world that are meant for each other in most cases, and I think they both they found the other complement, because they're tiny little people.
Definitely better than the other fish I caught earlier, that's for sure.
You know, it wasn't until about halfway through this trip that I actually realized the full magnitude of what I had done by inviting Joey and Callie on this trip, because, you know, I know it's only late March, early April, but I'm pretty sure the factory at the North Pole cranks 24/7, 365, and taking a couple of Santa's helpers out of that rotation, that work rotation, has got to mean that somewhere there's going to be some kid that's probably either not going to get as good of a toy or not going to get a toy at all. And I kind of feel a certain amount of responsibility for that. So there's another big fish in there. Little Johnny, if you end up missing a couple of wheels on your Tonka truck this year, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I cleaned up some fishing line. The big fish is right there. This is the buck. As soon as I hooked him, the big one moved up into the shallower water. You know what? Take your fishing line back home with you. We all have tools that we use that are part of everything that we do when we get ready for any type of activity. And for me, that tool is ScoutLookWeather.com. From its interactive quick log web portal, to where you can go back and review some of the information that you've inputted in the water on your mobile app, to the detailed hourly forecast, to fish marks, easy marking the spot when you catch a fish, gathers all the weather information, inputs it, uploads it to the system so that when you get home you have all that information there. ScoutLookWeather.com, I'll be honest with you, I use it not only when I'm planning my trips, but I use it while I'm on my trips. I pull up the weather app and look at where the wind's coming from. There's no telling how many times that I've headed out since I started using ScoutLook, and the weather was forecast to do one thing. Just before I go out on the water, just as one last measure, I check it, everything's changed. So you get to use the map, you get to use the information that you gathered prior to the trip, adjust your strategy, and get out there to where you're gonna be in a place where the conditions are more conducive to catching fish. So all the tools that are available at ScoutLookWeather.com make it the ultimate tool for not only planning, but for making adjustments while you're out on the water to keep you in the fish. We'll be right back with more kayak bass fishing action. Man, oh. There's a fish back there. Can you see that bush in the center of that little cove? He's right by that. Yep. Ah, missed it. I didn't stick her though. So what I'm doing is, I got this fish I know is working this little clump of grass. So I'm casting past it. And actually I'm letting it sit for about 15, 20 seconds, maybe even a little longer, which doesn't sound like a long time, but it feels like an eternity when you're fishing. And then I'm just simply lowering my rod about 45 degrees, jiggling it through those grass. When I bump into a stalk, just kind of give it a jiggle. If it hangs up a little bit, I'll pull the line and kind of do a little guitar plug trick, and then just keep working it through there. And then just let it sit. Watch that line. Look for that line to start moving, or that little tick. And I fish my rod tip up. That way if they pick it up, I can drop my rod tip and give them some slack. That way they don't feel me before I feel them, give myself a chance to set up for the hook set. Right there. Let's get this little guy back in the water and I'll show you what I did. Some pretty color to that fish. So I tried fishing a creature bait earlier on that had a little bit broader profile, but these lily pad stems or stalks are real close together. So I wanted to go with something a little bit more compact, and actually the bait that I went with, ironically enough, is called the Compact Craw from a new soft plastics company called Evolve. And this one's called the Compact Craw, and I'm fishing the pumpkin green with a little bit of green fleck in it. And it comes through that grass a lot better than something with a wider profile because it's so compact. We're shooting a TV show right now. No, we are. Ugh. And the whole premise is for me to catch fish right in front of people fishing off the bank like this. This is one of them Lord, I apologize moments. Man, I'm sorry. Lord, I apologize. That definitely is not right. One fish is okay. Two fish right in front of you is not right at all. Well, that's a pickerel, so that's not rude. I just got him out your way. That sucker right there is ugly as Kirstie Alley when she wakes up in the morning, I tell you, I promise you that. Good Lord. Ooh, fish on. Good fish. Oh yeah! That's what we're here for, baby. Yeah! Come here, girl. Come here, girl. That's right. That's a fatty. That's a fatty. That's what you come to Briery for. Not a monster, but but that's a little fatty. Look at that stomach on her. Man, she flat out smashed that Zoom swimming fluke. I mean, she's got it down in there good, middle of the mouth. Nice fat fish. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Nice and lively. Chased the bait down. I mean, I saw the boil take off from 15, 20 feet away, and she ran it down, so. Absolute jacked right there when I saw that boil take off. I had to make like 3 more cranks before I felt the hit. That's the hardest thing to do, when you know they're coming. Cool. Hey, this is Jenny, and this is Sarah.
And this is Daddy.
And we'll be right back with more kayak bass fishing action.
Welcome back to Wilderness Systems Kayak Bassin Show. With a successful day already behind them, Chad, Callie, and Joey take their hunt for the hog to a section of the lake that Chad fondly refers to as the pig pen.
Hey, I hear you back there, big girl. I hear you back there. I'm coming to see you. This is where I've gotten most of my pigs, right through here. Like that. Oh, I don't know if that's a pig, but I think I still got him. Actually. Oh, it's a pickerel. Wasn't worth it. He followed it right to the boat. Little guy. Not what you want to hook in this part of the lake. Not a beast. Decent fish. It's coming right through the spot where that big female's laying. Golly. God, I missed a giant. And then this little one smashed it.
I thought I was stuck at first. I cast it right over in this log timber right here. And then it just, a dead stop. Must be, stuck or whatever. And then it just took off and just took the drag out as fast as it could. The great thing about fishing from a kayak is we're just inside the area that all the motorboats go and everything. It's just more or less our own water here, untouched. It's just one of the great things about kayak fishing. Just an incredible fish, once in a lifetime fish. That's huge.
Whew, that's what it's all about right there. Joey with a 10-pound bass, easily 10 pounds. We've got a scale that only goes to 10 and it bottomed that thing out. I missed a monster over there about 5 minutes ago. My hands are still shaking. Callie got hung up in a tree and missed out on all the action, but the fact of the matter is, Briery Creek Lake, the land of giants, we're in a little spot you can't even get to in a boat. Kayak fishing is the ultimate way to get in there and catch them where others can't. Hey, thanks for joining us this week. Until next time, we'll see you for more kayak bass fishing action. Man, nice fish, baby. Awesome. That's a pig. You know what? Whether you're new to kayak fishing or you're looking to give kayak fishing a try, Visit Hook One at kayakfishinggear.com for the latest in kayak fishing accessories, kayaks, and you know what? If you don't see something that you like, give us a call and we'll make sure we add it. Wow, nice fish.
Blech.